What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we got Monday college basketball. Here we go. The last week of regular season college basketball games. I know time flies. It's unbelievable. We got one more week, then we got conference tournaments, and then it's selection Sunday, and then we're in the big dance, and it's all over, and we're watching someone be crowned as the national championship. It just goes like that, man. So please do your best to just take a deep breath, soak this in, watch as many games as you can. We all know how fast time flies, like I already said. So college basketball is one of the more unique, valuable sports in terms of entertainment and betting opportunities. So just try to take advantage of what we have left. I certainly have, man, coming off another winning weekend, rather on the small side. But to expect big winning days on repeat every day just for the rest of eternity is unrealistic. It's fictional. It just doesn't happen. Nobody does it. So to continue to win 15 out of my last 18 days, this is borderline fictional. This is one of the more historic runs I've ever witnessed in sports betting. So 56 and 29, 66%. You can see my units are the exact same as coming into Sunday. Yes, I had a winning day on Sunday, but I had two picks. We went 1-1. I posted the results in the community section like I always do for the detailed stuff. But I literally made like a couple dollars. But if I lost a couple dollars, I would count it as a losing day, and that would be updated as well. So even with just a couple extra bucks, man, not even enough to buy a 6-pack of beer, but literally a couple dollars of winning with my unit size, maybe some of the heavier hitters on the client list made a little bit of a nicer chunk of money. But hey, overall, another winning day. I won on Saturday. I won on Sunday. I won 15 of my last 18, 56 and 29, 66% over a month of betting on college basketball, just about 15 out of 18 days. It's 18 days that I bet. I don't bet every day. I rarely bet on Thursdays. I almost passed on Sunday. So that 18 days of betting is really closer to like 4 full weeks, just about there of college hoops. So take it for what it is, man. We're in March. We got about a month left of this thing. Like I said, we got one last week here, regular season games. Then we have our conference tournaments. We have selection Sunday, and then the big dance. So take advantage. I would grab that monthly package. That'll pretty much get you all the way through the whole rest of college basketball season. Link in the description, guys, to my website. You can get a week of picks if you want. I'm going to have a nice profitable week here. Already eyeballing some games for tomorrow as well. You guys know Tuesdays. Last Tuesday, a 6-0 sweep. So looking forward to the bigger slates as usual. But hey, we got to take advantage of what we have. So yeah, let me pull a pick at Sportsman. Let's run over these Monday games. I'm going to spend probably the most time on that Kansas and Houston game. Try to talk that over a little bit more thoroughly for you guys and give you some better reasoning. But yeah, man, all is good. We just keep winning. It just continues, man. It's really getting crazy at this point in time. The people sleeping on these type of numbers, man, are expecting more somehow. I mean, a couple of you guys expect more. I mean, just because I have a small winning day and not a huge winning day every day, apparently I'm like losing my touch. I don't think so, man. This is like world record level stuff. This run I'm on. Let me log in a Pickett. I thought I was on here already. Here's Pickett Sports. If you guys are interested in that, there's a link in the description. It's free. Just pop on the App Store, get it. You can't see all the data I see with my account, but yeah, you can still look at the lines and stuff. Wake Forest and Duke. I did forget about this one on this slate. Oops, I'm showing the wrong tab. Let me pop that over. There you guys go. Cool. Wake Forest, Duke, 21.5, 20.5 if you're looking at ESPN Bet. I'm taking the points. I mean, what are we doing? The first game was competitive. I mean, it was for most of the game. I really thought it was going to be an upset for about 3/4 of that game, maybe 60% of that game. I really thought it was going to be an upset. Look, Wake, they basically shot themselves in the foot. They were on the bubble. You know just the way these tournaments work. As bad as the ACC is, they would push and try and do everything they could to get more ACC teams in. I mean, the talk of SMU on the bubble. I mean, it's just insane. Teams that have even been considered. I mean, the fact that Wake's even on the bubble, or was, before they screwed up with that Virginia loss. And, they almost messed up again there with Notre Dame. They were lucky to get that one. So technically, Wake Forest is still on the bubble. Technically, I don't think they have a shot, but hey, man, this is an opportunity, right? I mean, they always played Duke close. The first game was competitive, like I said. 21.5. Is Wake Forest winning this game? I don't think it's impossible. Some games I come on here, I tell you, hey, I like the underdog with the points, but no way this is an upset. I don't know, man. I mean, how many good teams has Duke really played? They played Illinois when Illinois had a major, major sickness issue. That was not a healthy Illinois team. I thought Duke was fortunate in the first round here when they played Wake Forest the first time. And then when they stepped up in competition and played a team like Clemson, they lost. So this one's a Cameron. They're going to win this game, in my opinion. But I'm taking the points. Duke by 12. Duke by 13. 21 and a half. Give me Wake. Queens and Florida Gulf Coast. Give me Queens. McNeese, SF Austin. Give me SF Austin. Grambling, Bethune-Cookman. I'll go Bethune there, -2.5. Eastern Kentucky and Jacksonville. I'm going to go with Eastern Kentucky there. Southern Florida A&M. I'm going to go Florida A&M. Austin P and North Bama, too many points. Give me Austin P there, +12.5. Texas Southern and Alcorn State. I'm going to go with Texas Southern in that one. Howard, South Carolina State. Howard. I want to bet Howard. I want to. 10.5. Is that enough for Howard? Howard, man. They are bad. It's too many points, though. I feel like this should be 7.5. 10.5? Over there on Bet Rivers at -118. Give me the points. Norfolk State, North Carolina Central. I'm going to go Central here. I'll take the 5.5. Sela, UT Rio Grande. I'm going to go Sela here. Money line it. Actually, no. I'm trying to think of the scenario here. So this is the other tricky thing, right? So you come down the stretch, some of these smaller conferences that I talk very adamantly to you guys in all my videos. I definitely pay less attention to the very, very small, leagues. And this is kind of one of those. So I'd have to double check the seeding here. And the line is telling me otherwise. The line is telling me that the importance here falls on Rio. Because normally I thought Sela would be like a -4.5 or something. That's why initially I'm like, ooh, Sela on the cheap money line price at -115 being the better team. I think this is probably a Rio spot. I just got to double check. You guys are more than welcome to put your opinion on this game down in the comment section below. But yeah, if I double check here after I record this video and I find out that the level of importance is actually falling on Rio here, they're definitely the right side. They should win the game outright. So I would take that 1.5 with them. Houston Christian and East Texas. It's a toss-up. It's a toss-up. Give me the 2.5 points. Delaware State, Morgan State. I'm going to go with Morgan State here. But I really don't have a good feel on that game. Incarnate Word, Northwestern State, same kind of thing. Kind of just a coin flippy game. You get a lot of those in these smaller leagues, man. Some of the games are blowouts, and some come right down to the wire, and the team, might lose by 1 or 2. I'm going to take the points in that one, though. Nichols and Lamar. I think this is a Lamar spot. I would go on the money line. I know the price isn't great at -125 versus -113 just for laying a bucket, but just laying that bucket can be the difference in the month of March betting on college hoops. So anytime I can, I just try to stick to the money lines for favorites. New Orleans and Corpus Christi here. This is insane, dude. 14.5. Give me the points. Maryland Eastern Shore and Coppin. Coppin -3.5 is crazy against anybody, even a good high school team. I'm going to go Eastern Shore. I'll take the 3.5. Central, Lipscomb, lay it. Jayhawks, Houston. Actually, let's save that one for last. Let's do, we'll come back to that at the end. UCLA, Northwestern here. Northwestern quietly is like playing pretty good ball. They do have, I'm having a total brain fart here. The big guy for Northwestern. I like him. He's experienced. He's been around for a long time. He's a big body. I do think if he can stay out of foul trouble, that he can give Mara some issues, or at least kind of slow down Mara in a game like this. So I don't think UCLA has that advantage of like the dominant big guy. So I'm okay with that. You can kind of say that position kind of negates itself. The guards, I know we don't have Barnheiser, but there's still some players that can get a bucket here for Northwestern. I just don't think it's enough. I'm going to go UCLA here, and I'm going to go on the money line. -155, the very upper end of usually what I consider for a money line. -150, -160. My whole reasoning is game like this, it's on the road. Northwestern's been playing good. They're scrappy. To win by 4 or more, or to win by 3 or more, I guess to get a push or get a win, depending on which way you're looking at it. I just don't want to do that in a spot like this, but I am confident that UCLA will find a way to win this game. UCLA's free throws at times this year have been a little bit sketchy as well. And, if they're up by 5, if they're up by 6, and the Northwestern starts that fouling thing, maybe they can sort of whittle down that margin of victory and get inside the number for a cover. So I would rather put a unit and a half on the money line for UCLA just to simply profit a unit than to risk, 1.1 units on the minus 110 price to try to profit that same amount. I would rather risk an extra half a unit and take the points out of the equation. And of course, if you like the underdog, always take points, man. Even if it's 1.5, take it. So that's kind of an advantage there. You guys can use moving forward. You don't have to do that back in January. You don't have to do it back when, in non-conference play. March college basketball. Hello. You got to just be a little bit extra safe. This is fucking sports betting. We could lose every pick for months, man. Nothing's a guarantee in this industry, but just in general, guys, this time of year, be looking at that money line. Don't be laying points. Don't be greedy. Wichita State, North Texas. Give me North Texas. Wichita, I mean, come on. They've been playing good ball. I watched too much of them early in the year. That's just not a great team. North Texas, man, I like them. Give me them here. I'll lay the 7.5. Northern Colorado and Weber. I'll go Northern Colorado. Should win comfortably. 6.5. At least it's reasonable. I'll lay the points with Northern Colorado. Idaho and Montana State. I don't know. No clue. Northern Arizona and Idaho State. Did I just say Idaho State twice? I don't know. Idaho State. Lay it. No, thank you. Northern Arizona at home, maybe, but nah, I'll lay it here. Prairie View, Jackson State. Lay it there. Sacramento State and Portland State. A lot of states, man. Keep saying the state number. It's fucking me up. Lay it again. Sacramento State's bad. Like a whole new level of bad. Portland State to be laying 12.5 is crazy. So lay it. Eastern Washington and Montana. This is probably a super, and it's the last game of the night, so people would be chasing their losses, and they're just going to be taking the favorite. We're going to see some weird shit happen here. 9-point win or something. I'm going to lay the 9.5. I think Montana's a lot better. I feel it feels very casual and cheap to do that, but that's the way I'm going to look. Let's go back to this Kansas game, man. I want to talk about this one quite a bit here. Don't just take my pick and exit out the video. I think what I have to say is important for a game like this. You guys know me. I went to West Virginia. I like the Big 12 the best. I pay attention to it the most. I know everything. I know its staff, the coaches, styles, everything. Look, we have a couple of contradictions here. By the way, this line is back up to 9.5. I saw an 8.5 before I recorded this video. I saw 10s, I think, it opened. Maybe 9.5 it opened. 9.5 it opened. I think it did get up to a 10 briefly. And then back down to 8.5, and now it's back to 9.5. And I think it's just kind of settle here. But I want to show you the money splits for this one. So we have a very, very big public underdog. Now the action is good for Kansas. Just over half of the bets have come on Kansas, but a pretty good chunk of the money. Almost 70% of the money. Right. So I think the line dropping isn't like the books like thinking Kansas is going to be competitive. That's just kind of a reaction to the money that's coming in on the market here. Sometimes you see reverse line movement, and that would be really, really alarming if, this Kansas money was coming in and then the spread kept going up. That would be a better sign for Houston. So Houston at home, senior day, the better team. The problem is this is still fucking Kansas basketball. So don't go too crazy on this game. If you're going to bet this one, just make it a standard wager. You could look at Houston in the first half, maybe. They're probably laying 4.5. You can check that. No, can't check it yet. It's not quite available. Should be 4.5 or 5.5 for that first half. I think that makes a little bit more sense to me. Houston sometimes, they do what they do. They go through the game. They get that margin. They play good defense. And then at the end, they're just trying to get that W. They don't necessarily need to win by 10 plus. And in the first matchup, in Lawrence, it was a good competitive game. It was a double overtime game. Now, Kansas got a very friendly whistle in that game. Kansas was just throwing up shots and everything was going in. It was just one of those games where Kansas just looked like an A-plus team. And Houston, man, it was one of Houston's worst games, I think, all year. Roberts was struggling in a game like that. I can't remember how Uzan did in that one, but it was a pretty rough game for Houston, but they hung around, got the game to overtime multiple times, and then stole the win. Crushing for Kansas, but Kansas still knows it was a competitive game, so I don't think they're going to be mentally thinking they're going to go down to Houston and get killed. I believe they have a chance here, and we're starting to sort of play with fire with this Kansas team. Just a little bit, I think, emotionally, how we're starting to, and when I say we, not necessarily me, but the media in general, the public consensus on this Kansas team. Now, they are bad. They are bad. Dickinson is soft. The overall roster is just not, it's just not up to par. But once we start to really count them out, I mean, that's when teams get dangerous. Usually you're playing with the pressure, right? The pressure of being a top ranked team and the pressure of, wanting to live up to expectations. Now we're getting Kansas like plus 9.5 in some of these games as an underdog, people talking shit about him. I don't know. Is Bill Self going to rally the troops? Is he going to rally the troops? I think this will be a good measuring stick. I'm going to lay the points with Houston, though. I'm going to go on the casual side. I don't like public underdogs. The fact that the line movement was kind of going down at 8.5, 9.5 definitely makes me a little uncomfortable if Houston covering the number. But just the fact that this many people still are buying into Kansas. I just, on the road, man, Kansas has been bad on the road. Very fortunate to cover against Colorado, who just got murdered by Kansas State. I think Houston really puts it on them. I think this is a game where Kelvin Sampson and this Houston Cougars team can let Bill Self and the Jayhawks know that now the Houston Cougars are the face of the Big 12 for college basketball. So I do think this is a statement win. I think it's senior night as well. Again, you could look at the first half. You don't want to lay the huge number, but you just got to like Houston here. Like I said, in that first game, you have an extremely crazy environment there in Lawrence at the Fog. They had extremely friendly whistle. They were getting all the calls. They were just chucking up like fadeaway threes, and somehow they were going in. Roberts, the offense for Houston was struggling for a while, and Houston still found a way to win that game. I think they're gonna beat them comfortably. It seems a little too easy here, and that's always a little bit scary. It's a Monday. It's March. Crazy things can happen. This could be an upset for all we know. I got to go with Houston. They're just a substantially better team. So you guys got to let me know what you're thinking about that game down in the comment section below and reread the bottom of the screen. Are you really going to go through the rest of March without my picks? I mean, you could literally pay $149 and basically the whole rest of the college basketball season, I got you covered. You'll go right on the text list. Everything every day will get sent right to your phone, man. You get the plays, the odds, the plays, how many units to put on each one. Just copy the text, man. See you in the next video.